Welcome to today's episode of Grow in the Middle podcast. Today we're talking about growing in discomfort, setting the goal, setting the planning mindset. So it's the new year. Everybody's really excited. We're setting all these goals. We're going to change our lives. Everything is going to be new, exciting, it's fun. And what I want to focus on in general in this podcast is being realistic. Let's be very real about our goals. I'm very much so a believer that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to, but your effort has to match your intentions. So if you intend to insert goal, you intend to do this thing, are your actions and your effort aligned with those intentions? If not, that's probably why you're not seeing the results you're looking for. For me specifically, there are plenty of times that my effort and my actions do not match my intentions. And I'm saying it every day, I'm going to do this. And it's not working. So today we're going to talk about how to set better goals. We're going to talk about making sure that we are not working towards empty goals, because that is a thing. And then we're setting ourselves up for success in the best way possible. So let's get into the idea around goal setting. Most people are great at goal setting. You write down something that you want to do. Oh my God, I'm excited. This is the goal. I'll share my goals with you. I made it a point in this podcast to share my personal triumphs, my struggles, so that we can be very realistic. And I am not talking to you just from a point of you need to do better, because I need to do better in a lot of ways. So we're gonna go on this journey together. So a lot of us, when we are goal setting, we are goal setting backwards, right? We just write down, hey, this is the result I want to achieve, which is the goal. And then we write down a list of like 7 to 8 things that are super ambitious for us personally, right? No one really sets an easy goal. They're like, oh, you know what? Go on a walk tomorrow. And then you go, that's not the goal. That's not the goals people set. People are like, oh, you need to walk a mile or 2 miles or 3 miles or run every day for the next 30 days, because goals are meant to be challenging and they're meant to pull you out of your comfort zone, because you're usually achieving something new. That's why the name of this episode is Growing in Discomfort. Most goals, the process of achieving them often are discomfort. Like they are fueled with discomfort. Starting a podcast for someone who does not like to be on video is extremely uncomfortable. This is probably take 15, maybe more, but we'll come back to that. So let me give you a real life example of over-indexing, creating an overwhelming list, and then not considering how your actions and your intentions align, or not even considering your current responsibilities and the bandwidth that you have, right? We're taught to stretch ourselves, push ourselves, and again, there is truth to all of that, but I think it needs to be catered, or tailored is the word I'm looking for, to you specifically. So everybody knows about 75 hard, right? If you don't know what 75 hard is, it was like this viral challenge that went crazy last year, even the year before, I believe. And it was basically you write down 7 to 8 goals that you had to do every day for 75 days straight. Part of that crossed health, nutrition, education. So no drinking. You had to work out twice a day, and one of your workouts had to be outside. So ideally pushing you towards walking, hiking. You had to read 10 pages a day. A gallon of water was included in there. Trying to do all the things that you need consistency or discipline in, or things that you've been wanting to try for 75 days straight. The real rules were if you missed one thing, you were supposed to start your 75 days over. So you could be in day 30, and if you missed one thing, you had to start over. Now, some people did it. I don't know if they did it to the T, but they did it. They seen results. They learned a lot about themselves. And then other people tried, attempted. They either did or didn't see results. And my hope is that they learned some things about themselves, and that the thing just wasn't that I'm unable to do this. because 75 hard is a great example of challenging yourself, but it really pulls into play why your effort and your intention, your actions all need to be aligned. It's just so important that they're aligned. So I'm going to compare our 75 hard example with a traditional to-do list or goal setting list that everybody's doing for the new year. So usually there's an element of like organization on there. I need to get organized. I need to winter clean, spring clean, whatever we want to call it. There's also health and nutrition is usually on there. People want to lose weight or gain weight. People want to eat better, cook more, all of these things. If you have children, you might want to do more with them, or opposite, make more time for yourself. Let's talk about career. People are looking to, in this economy, in this market, people are looking to get a new job. People are looking to make more money. People are looking to get promoted, right? Take on more responsibility or do less, because that is a thing. There is a point you reach in your career where it's like, this is a lot. Let me take a step back. Take a step back. So let's just say we'll do our example list, right? We've got lose 30 pounds. That's one of my goals. Lose 30 pounds, find a new role, make more money. Let's just use those three, for example. I need to clean this house, organize, clean out the closets. I need to prep for my taxes, all of these things that I need to do. Let's start with our first list. I'm going to go personal for a second because that resonates with a lot of people. Let's say your goal is to lose and or gain weight. Lose or gain weight. Mine is to lose 30 pounds within 6 months. I'm giving myself up to a year, but my timeline is really 6 months. It is actually June 2nd of 2025 is when I want to have achieved that goal. So if you're looking at your list, the first thing I want you to do is to write down why this goal is important to you. Not why it should be important to you, why it actually is important to you. I'm looking to lose weight because I want to. It's as simple as that. I don't care what the internet says. I want to lose weight. The other part is my knees hurt. 30 extra pounds on my knees since I've met my husband is a lot. And my knees don't agree. I want to take that off. I want to take that pressure off of them. The other reason is I have a closet full of clothes, very cute clothes for the times I do go outside. And they are all within around the same size and range. And I am growing out of them and I don't want to. I'm 33. I don't need to grow out of my clothes. I don't want to. So I want to grow back in them. These are the reasons why. I also want to start creating a better foundation for a healthier lifestyle for myself and for my family. Before I procreate, before I bring a little one into this world, I want to prove to myself that I can be in the best shape of my life on my own terms, what that looks like for me, and not geared towards anyone else. And so these are the reasons why it's important to me. I want to get into Pilates. I want to be able to stretch. I want to be more limber and more flexible because these things are important. I want to build muscle, all of those things. That's why it's important to me. And that is a driver for me at the end of the day. So that's the why. First thing you do is you set your motivation. Why is this important to you? What is the driver behind it? If you can't think of why this is important other than you just need to do it, it might not be a goal that you should be working on at this time if you've got 8, 5, 6, 4 other things on your list. The next thing I would say is you need to break that thing down into smaller, achievable goals. So when we think about, again, I'm going to use lose weight. If you're gaining weight, same concept, right? When you think about wanting to lose weight, there's several factors that go into it. And this is with any goal. I'm going to do a career example as well because I want this to resonate across the board. If I start with losing weight, you have to first do some research. You have to have an understanding, how much do I weigh now? What am I looking to lose? So I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. I weigh 233 pounds right now. I'm 5'9", so I'm tall, 33 pounds. My goal is to lose about 30 to 35 pounds, put me right at or under the 200 mark. Love it. Love it there. Love it there. This is cool, but I love it there. Okay. So I now take that information and I need to look up I'm not going to go too deep into this, right? You look at the fitness trainers, but the research is important. So I need to have an understanding of what my caloric intake is, what do I expel calorically just resting. I also need to have an understanding of how much exercise I need to do. Am I going to lean more on exercise than I am on nutrition? And with that being said, you still have to have good nutrition. But am I going to spend most of my time focusing on better exercises and just making sure my nutrition is there, right? Like, what does that look like? So there's the nutritional aspect. From the nutritional aspect, what am I cutting out or what am I limiting? Am I meal prepping? How many times a day am I eating? Break it down so that it's simple. These are all the things that you need to have an understanding of, and then you need to make your plan on what does this look like. For me, I want to eat 4 to 5 small meals a day because it keeps me focused. It also helps me to get up. I will sit in this chair for 8 hours. It helps me to have a break and breaking my meals into smaller things that I can like easily throw into a pot, a pan, eat, and move on, right? For working out, like creating a workout schedule that suits your efforts. If you are going from no gym to you're automatically going to be in gym 5, 6 days a week, what are you doing in the gym that's going to keep you there 5, 6 days a week? Is that where you should start? Should you start with maybe walking every day and then doing 2, 3 times a week? What does that look like for you? Realistically, if you are an all-in person and you're super disciplined, then that works for you. And I love that for you. And I hope to join you one day in that level of discipline. One of the other things that I need to do in order to hit this goal is wake up earlier. I am not a workout at night girl. I am exhausted by the end of the day. But making time to get up at 5:30, 6 a.m., do my workout then, sets me up for the day. So these are all of the things that you do that you should be doing. Research your goal before you start it so you can understand. I have a list of 5 things on this first thing to lose weight or gain weight. These are all of the things that I need to look into and see if I need to make adjustments. The other thing that I didn't add is I touched on it, but making time for this. Like I said, getting up earlier is what I'm going to need to do to make time to work out. That means I need to go to bed earlier. You cannot wake up at 5:30 and go to bed at 12, 1, 2. Your body you can, but it's not sustainable. So that's one goal. Now I've got 4 or 5 things to do just to hit that one goal. Are you able to do all of those things and then still hit all of these other goals in the time frame that you set out? So if we recap for a second, we want to write down the goals, right? We want to have the understanding of why they're important. Then we want to assign a realistic timeline, something that is going to match your effort level. I said 30, 35 pounds in 6 months. That will give me ideally 5 to 6 pounds a month. What do I need to do to lose 5 to 6 pounds a month? Needs to come out of that research that I just said. And then I write my goal. Here is the goal. Here are all of things I'm going to do. And here are my monthly check-ins with myself and or get an accountability partner. So then we talked about breaking it down to smaller goals and making them actionable. Track them, take pictures, write down what's working for you, what's not working for you. And we talked about understanding what motivates you. So now let's switch this over to career, because as you'll see in this podcast, I talk about personal and career often because your personal habits drive how you act professionally and vice versa. There's a lot of alignment, even when people say like, oh, I compartmentalize, there's a lot of alignment. And until you really understand the driver behind your actions, you'll struggle to an extent. So when we think about career, a lot of my clients or even my candidates for the organization I work for are looking to land a role, specifically looking to land a role in tech. My people who are a little bit more advanced, they are looking to get a promotion, trying to get into that mid-level, director level, and I have a couple looking to break into that executive level. So we've got get a promotion, which promotion is also usually aligned with a new job or some more money. When we think about what that takes, if you have one of those 3 things on your list, make more money, land a new role, or get a promotion, What are the things that you need to do to get there? Because those are the goals. Those are not the actual things that you're focused on. So when we think about what you'll be focused on, let's take promotion. This is the research aspect. You want a promotion. Are your intentions aligned with your daily efforts and your actions? A lot of what I'm hearing on the internet, sometimes with my clients, is like, okay, yeah, I want this promotion, but they're asking me to do more work. Well, what does your promotion entail, right? You want a promotion, and why do you want the promotion? Do you want the promotion just because you want to make more money? If you want the promotion just because you want to make more money, you might consider looking at other roles that require the same amount of effort from you, but you might make more money because a company has more money or bandwidth. That is a possibility. This is lateral roles. Usually you're doing something a little different, but you're not going from an individual contributor to now you're people managing, or you're taking on a bunch of brand new projects. So you need to consider why you're doing this. If you are looking to take on more responsibility and to make more money, but you're saying to yourself or your friends or your coworkers that I'm not trying to, they're asking me to do more, or they're asking me to do the job before I get it. There's a balance in that, because if I am your manager or your boss, and you come to me and you're looking for a promotion, which I've had people do several times in my team, and they're like, I do my job great. I'm really, really good at my job. Yes, you are. And they're like, well, I deserve a promotion. But you've never shown me that you can take on more responsibility. You've done your job extremely well, but you've never shown me that you are willing to take on more responsibility, even if it's just a project. You opt out of those things. You're quick to be like, no. So when you think about the other side of it, why would I consider you for a promotion if that's your stance or your attitude? So there's more to it than that. I don't believe that people should be doing just free work and taking on a bunch of different positions. But those of you in tech or startups know that most times in a tech startup, you are playing more than one role, which is typically why tech and startups pay more, typically, because you're doing the role of one or two people and you should be getting compensated for it. And the example that I used about your intentions and your actions aligning, if you are looking to show that, hey, I am capable of taking on more responsibility, you need to have examples of where you have demonstrated that. You also need to have an understanding, is your company planning to promote this year or this quarter or this half? If you're working at a company, and I'm going to lean into my startups for a second, if you're working at a company and they're facing a downturn, you know the signs. If they're facing a downturn, should you be looking for a promotion or should you be looking for a new job? Something to consider. Are you having these conversations? Do you have a mentor or someone to advocate for you? So with all of this that I'm saying now, I have again given you one goal and there's a bunch of subtasks. You have to do your research. You need to make sure you're talking to the higher ups or whoever your direct manager is to have an understanding if a promotion is even on the horizon. And then decide, if it is, what are the things that you need to do? What are the skills and results you need to demonstrate to be considered for that promotion? Are you having the conversation? Are you making it known that this is something that you're interested in? Because closed mouths do not get fed. Do you have a mentor or an advocate or a coach? Someone that can help you get there. Consider these things. So take a step back and look at this to-do list that you have for the new year. And are you setting yourself up correctly? Are you leaning into the fact that what you're going to be doing is not going to be simple? It is going to be a little discomforting. It is going to be a little like, ugh. But you have to, in order to hit the goal, you have to plan out effectively and then work towards the steps to get there. It's the outcome that we're looking for. We don't stay in the moment of discomfort. Consider that if you're not hitting the goals that you're setting. So let's recap for a second. When we think about setting better goals and avoiding setting empty goals, we want to make sure that we're writing down our goals and we have an understanding of the why behind them. Why does this connect? Why is this motivating? Why is this, or what is this going to do for me as an individual, as a professional? Have an understanding of that. If you can't find a why, take it off your list for now. Then I want you to make sure you're assigning realistic timelines that match your level of effort. If you are not a 5 a.m. girly, or you will not commit to going to sleep a little earlier so that you can wake up earlier, do not put that down, because you're setting yourself up for failure. Now, if you say, "Oh, I can do it," and you are going to commit to it, great, but don't do that to yourself. So assign realistic timelines and goals. Our strategies to set better goals, to align ourselves with more achievable success, and how we'll learn from the goals that we set. Planning better and avoiding empty goals. So first things first, I mentioned write down all your goals. And then next to the goal, write down why it's important. Why it's important for you specifically, not what you heard somewhere else. Again, getting healthy, that shouldn't be why you're writing it down. It should be deeper than that. What is the attachment to it? Oh, I want a promotion because I've been in the same role for 2-3 years. Yeah, but what about this promotion do you want, right? Get a little bit more specific. If you cannot find a reason, maybe take that off your list for right now. Then I want you to assign realistic timelines and make sure that you are matching your level of effort with your intention. Your effort and your actions need to match your intentions. So if you are saying, "Oh, I'm going to find a new job in 2 months," the average time people find a new job in a good market is usually 4 to 6 months. In this market, just not even a good job, but the right job takes 6+ months. But it is also, when we talk about level of effort, the effort that it takes to get there. Effort looks like applying to jobs consistently. Effort looks like revamping your resume, revamping your LinkedIn. Effort looks like going to events, networking, reaching out to people, making time for those things. So if you set a goal for 2 months, you're going to land a new role. What are you doing in those 2 months? It needs to include all of the things that I mentioned. Make sure that you are willing to commit to that time frame and you have the time, or you make the time, better yet. Let's make sure we're tracking and we get an accountability partner. Get an accountability partner. Ideally, I think that you should get an accountability partner that is good at the thing that you're not. Whatever that is, right? Like being consistent. If you're not good at being consistent, find somebody who's super consistent, but they might be struggling with something else. That's my tidbit for you. Track. Make sure you're taking pictures, notes, journals work. Have a highlight of, like, if we think about exercises that you really love, that, oh, this feels good, I really like doing this. We think about personal, what careers or what activities in your job do you really love? I love coaching, mentoring, and developing people. Out of all of my roles, that has been my favorite thing. So that is what I looked for when I was looking for a new role and when I created my company. That was what was really important to me. So track the things that stand out to you. I'm also happy to be an accountability partner. I will leave my information so that you can either shoot an email, you can leave a comment, and I will respond to you. And then understand what motivates you overall, right? We talked about that, right? Your goals need to be exciting to you and they need to be able to keep you committed. And the excitement doesn't always have to be like, "Oh my God, this is so great." Sometimes it's like, if I achieve this goal, here's what it will do for me. And that's exciting. If I achieve the goal of losing 30 pounds and keeping that off, it will prove to me that I can be disciplined. That to me excites me. So as we close, there's a couple things I want you to think about. I'm going to leave you with a quote and a challenge. The quote is, "A goal is not a plan." I want everybody to hear that. A goal is not a plan. It is the result of the wants and desires you set out to achieve. The plan is how you get there. So I want y'all to reflect on what is getting in your way right now. Are you not making enough time? Are you setting out goals that are way beyond the effort and actions that you're willing to commit to? You might want to change your intention. Or if you want to keep the intention, the goal that you set out, you might want to up the effort and the actions. So ask yourself, what adjustments can I make before you set your goal? Ideally before you set your goal, right? We're in the new year, before you set your goal, to align with the actions that I need to achieve my goals. That's where we're leaving it today. Coming up, I'll have a couple guests on that I'm really excited about. And the theme of this series is growing in discomfort. We're going to be talking about dreams. We're going to be talking about how to get what you want, how to achieve the goals that you're looking for. And I'm going to give you some real life examples from people who are living in their own success. And I'm also going to introduce you to some new roles that you might not traditionally see spotlighted. So really excited about that. And as always, thank you for tuning into this episode of Grow in the Middle podcast. I hope you took away something valuable in your weekly pep talk. If you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. Comment below, hit the subscribe button, like, share with a friend. I'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share with a friend, comment below. The Grow in the Middle podcast is produced and edited by Mid-Century Marketing Company. We aim to create engaging and relatable content that helps you chart your own path to grow in the middle. I want to thank our wonderful guests, and especially you, the listener. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to let us know. Until next time.